Hi, this is Brian Otten, Marketing Director for the Greater Wausau Chamber of Commerce. I'm behind the camera again this afternoon with another finalist for our 2023 ATHENA Leadership Awards. I'm joined this afternoon by Laura Blado, a previous recipient of the ATHENA Young Professional Leadership Award, and one of this year's finalists, Niina Baum. And so, Laura, why don't you get us started?
First of all, congratulations. As a past recipient, I think this was an life-altering moment for me to be recognized by my peers this way, so congrats, it's a big deal.
Well, thank you. I didn't even know we had this award around here, so it was really exciting to find out about it this way.
Absolutely. So a couple of questions, just to get it started a little bit, is can you share with us an example of a time you advocated fiercely for either yourself or someone else?
Yeah, so a statement that's always kind of lived in my mind that someone once told me is no one can advocate for you better than you can for yourself, right? But that doesn't mean we shouldn't advocate for other people. And aside from advocating for myself very often, I recently, in the last year, sponsored 2 Ukrainian refugees to come over here to the U.S. on humanitarian parole. And in conjunction with my parents, we've actually sponsored about 8 Ukrainian refugees. My grandmother was actually from Finland, and she was there during World War II when Russia invaded Finland, and she experienced being bombed on. She remembers trying to teach at the schools, and the windows would all be shattered from the bombings and everything like that. So when this happened, I really kind of felt like a personal obligation to try and help some of these people. And some of the people that I've sponsored, I've helped them get jobs in Rhinelander even. I've helped them find housing and everything, just getting them integrated into the community. And so now, like, one of them, his brothers are fighting in the war, and we've been able to help him raise money to send back to his brothers to get better armor so that that's lighter and stronger to hopefully help them, defend their country better as well. And another one of the young boys that I was able to sponsor and help bring over here, his father and mom were part of the war effort from day one, and his father got really injured, so now he can't serve in the war anymore, so now we're able to sponsor him so that he can come over and be reunited with his son and everything. So that was probably the most recent thing where I really tried to advocate for somebody and help them start a new life here.
That's incredible. Incredible. How about sharing an example with us of a time that you feel you've acted courageously?
Oh gosh, I know when you think of like courageous acts, I always think of somebody who like saved somebody's life, something like incredible. And so I really had to think about this, and it was funny, I was actually talking to my mom this morning, and she reminded me of a time when I was 16, and I really realized like this probably was sort of a pinnacle point on it really shaped how I act today and what I do for other people. And so when I was about 16, I was riding the bus home from school, and I noticed that there was this 8-year-old boy who seemed to be, something was off, like he was freaking out. At the time I didn't know what it was. Now as an adult I know, oh, he's having a panic attack and stuff. And these other kids are trying to calm him down by restraining him, which is just making the situation worse. And so, at 16, I didn't know what to do, but I just knew that something wasn't right and what was happening wasn't okay. And so, I don't really remember the details much anymore, but I remember going up to them and somehow telling the boys they just needed to get out of there and just let me handle the situation. And essentially, once the boys left and let go of the younger kid, you could tell he just relaxed, and then I started just talking to him and asking him questions. He was a new kid at the school and everything. And so by the end of it, maybe it was even 10 minutes later, it was his stop and he got off the bus, and I just never thought another thing of it. And then the next day, I got called to the principal's office. And I was like, oh no, I'm in so much trouble. Like, what did I do? What did I do now? No, I'm kidding. What is it this time? No. I go to the principal's office, and the principal tells me, he's like, Niina, I got a phone call today from this kid's parents, and apparently this kid had told his parents what happened, and his parents wanted the principal to come and tell me thank you for helping in that situation, and that, I actually had really helped that young boy just calm down and get over his panic attack, and I didn't know that that's what I was doing at the time. And so I think that was kind of like a shaping point in my life for, how should I act in different situations and what you should do.
Wow. Yeah, I can imagine.
I know it's from a long time ago, but I was just thinking, like, you know, this one's just always stuck in my head.
That's pretty pivotal. I can see why. All right, how about sharing an example of a time that you've brought another woman into a position of leadership, either on a project or a cause, and what did you learn about yourself in that experience?
Yeah, so in my role, in my professional role at work, you know, my job is very skills-based and technical. I do a lot of marketing. I work with virtual reality technology and everything. So I'm not really, you know, I'm not in like a management position where I can promote somebody or hire in, you know, another female to grow my team and everything like that. So for me, I have to kind of address this question from more the standpoint of setting an example for other women and hoping to inspire other women to do what they want to do. So I have a successful personal brand outside of my work. It's called Niina the Adventurous. So in that personal brand, I showcase all the wild things that I do, which it ranges from mountain biking to solo backpacking trips in the backcountry and wilderness of Alaska, to dog mushing. I'm actually on Team USA for dog sled racing, and we'll be competing in the World Championships this fall in Spain in November and everything. So, yeah, and I do all sorts of other things on there, like construction. I'm building a sauna right now, and I'm showcasing that. I make firewood and run a chainsaw and all these things. But I grew up on a farm, so I'm used to doing all these different things. So just showcasing, you know, a female doing all these different activities in areas that have previously probably been considered more male-dominated, and just showing, hey, if you want to go do it, go do it. I've also taught some female-based adventure classes. So national organization called She Jumps is designed to help empower women to get into the outdoors, and I've taught classes for them as well. And so I just really like to try to set an example and showcase that, you know, if you put your mind to something, you can do it.
I think you have a new follower.
Yeah, you can look that up.
Okay, moving on to examples of how you serve others in your community, although I think you pretty well demonstrated that at this point. Are there any other examples that you'd like to share?
Sure. So, I don't have much free time. I'm involved in a lot of different things. You know, what is that episode of Parks and Recreation where the guy's like, you know, if I'm constantly moving and doing something, I can't think about all the other things in my life, right? So that's probably like a little bit of me. So I started or co-founded an organization called Northwoods Young Professionals in the Rhinelander, but it covers more than just Rhinelander. We cover the whole Northwoods, pretty much anything north of Merrill, essentially. And the whole goal of that organization is to help retain young talent in the area. As we all know, it can be hard to retain a young workforce up here and everything, especially with the changes of COVID and all that. So how we help retain the workforce is by helping young professionals connect and get integrated into their communities, especially being a rural area. That connection piece is really critical up here. And so we do lots of events, we have lots of programming and everything, and we rotate around the Northwoods region with our events and programs to cover a wide audience. And I've really seen an impact with that in the last, oh gosh, it's been almost 4 years now that I've been running that with my partner on this. So that's one really big initiative that I've been working on. I serve on the Town Planning Commission for the town of Crescent, which has been really awesome experience to be able to kind of have an input in helping shape the future of our township and what we're doing. So right now we just completed our comprehensive land use plan for the township, and we're waiting on final approval on that, which is going to be really, really awesome. And then I serve on a few different boards, the Nordic board. I serve on some dog mushing boards because it's a big part of my life, the dog sled racing. And then I also put on 2 really big dog sled races up in the Northwoods. So I put on the Heel Creek Dog Dash in Rhinelander, which brings over about 500 attendees and 100 competitors. And then I'm also organizing the Manafqua Almost Winter Dryland Dog Dash, which is like the dryland fall version of dog sled racing. And we are working on putting in a bid to be the location for the World Championships in 2025. which is really exciting.
That
So
is
World
exciting.
Championships are in Spain this year, so then it'd be cool if it can come here to northern Wisconsin in 2025.
That is perfect. I love that. I can't imagine fitting anything else in there.
I don't either. My evenings sometimes are scheduled down to the hour. So.
I think a good tip. Any tips for time management that you'd like to share?
Make sure that what you're doing you enjoy, because
Yes.
if you don't, I enjoy all these things I do, and I think that's what makes it manageable. If I didn't enjoy it, I'd be miserable. So it's because I enjoy it that I do it.
Which I imagine means that you have to say no to some things.
I do.
And
Yes.
how do you not guilt yourself into them?
That's hard because I'm really bad at saying no, but I've gotten better about it. What I tell people is let me think about it and see if it's something I can do or not, because if someone puts me on the spot, my instant reaction is to say yes. So I've gotten much better about just being, let me get back to you, and then I can prepare myself to say no.
It's kind of like when mom says maybe, right?
Yes, exactly.
So you want us to keep going?
No, it's a great conversation. Is there anything else that you want to add before we wrap things up?
Oh gosh, not that I can think of. Just that I'm really excited to find out about this award and everything, and just an honor to be here.
Awesome. So again, thanks, Laura. Thanks, Niina. It was a great conversation. This is a great venue to do it. So I didn't say this at the start, but we're broadcasting live from the Wausau Group Lounge at the Chamber's new depot headquarters in downtown Wausau. And if you are curious about the Athena Awards, this is the 9th of 10 interviews. We have one more on Friday. And all those interviews have been archived on the Chamber's YouTube channel, and you can find them on the Chamber's Facebook page as well. And the event itself is coming up on Wednesday, November 8th. It's going to be held at the Hilton Garden Inn in Rib Mountain. It's a fun lunchtime event that really does a nice job of recognizing some of the leaders in our community and getting a chance to really highlight a pair of them, especially by making them the recipients of this year's award. So, Laura and Niina, thank you, and we will be back again on Friday with one more.